Welcome back. So in the last video I had to reboot my computer just to try to speed things up a little bit. So I've rebooted and we're back. So let's just do a double check on the cropping we did in our last video. Yeah, see, it looks like everything was fine. It was just taking a while to update. Yeah. Okay. So we can continue on with our cropping. So some of these are going to be portraits. Some of these are going to be landscape. This one looks like it's going to be portrait. You can see it's updating a lot faster now. And so for some of this, so like if we were to copy this, so I can copy this and then apply over here, apply the crop, and it should, it's still not copying. Okay, let me copy and okay, paste that in. Okay, so using the keyboard shortcut worked, but for the interface wasn't. That's what I mean. It's me a little glitchy there. Which I realize is it's just something that I wish they would update, because it should just be as simple as, okay, I'm going to copy from this image and paste it on there. But so now now that I have it copied though, I can Control Shift V the adjustment and then paste it in. Since it's the only adjustment that I have, I'm not worried about any color changes or anything like that. All those were done in the raw image. So for some of these, this 4x5 is not going to work to get the whole thing. So on some of these, I'm okay with breaking that if I need to, and then allowing her to, when she actually posts, of course you post to Instagram or anything like that, you can do some own cropping. So I will give a little bit more room on my side, so she can crop in however she wants to. And really at this point, I'm just doing the straightening for that, because that is easier to do in Capture One than on any sort of social app. Yeah, we'll stick with 4x5. Actually, align the grid with her eyes there. So copy, paste. Copy, paste. Well, I've already copied, so I'm really copying the same adjustment from a while ago. Just pasting it in, using the same. So apply adjustments, Control Shift V. That's where, so really just using this should just copy this one adjustment as opposed to all adjustments, which is what the copy paste adjustments does. For our purposes though, I'm fine with just doing the overall copy paste, because we only have one adjustment on these images on the TIFF files, and that is the composition cropping. So it's not really that big of a deal. Most of these are portrait. I remember when we shot these, of course, you can see they're shot in portrait, but also she had requested these to be portrait. So that's why I'm cropping them that way. So some of that is helpful. I've had times where it's helpful to keep a little notebook out on the set and just keep an eye on, what shots are portrait, what are landscape, if the client makes specific requests, right? Sometimes they don't. And then that's when I like to give options, do some of each, what I think is best. And then if they come back and want something a little bit different, it's easy to do that because we haven't adjusted, or we have the full image edited, and this composition here is pretty easy to adjust as we need to. So this is another one I'll probably go unconstrained to get as best as we can without the, because the horizon needs to be straightened there. There we go. This one's a little bit better. We're at 4.5. Yeah. There we go. Keep on. So this process is pretty quick. Once we get our computer working a little bit better. And sometimes, you know, especially on a Windows computer, a good reboot fixes a lot of things. Even on Mac, you know, it not quite as often as on a Mac is necessary, but good reboot every now and then. It's a good thing. All right, let's go unconstrained on this, and we'll give another little option. Actually, let's do this. We'll do, that's almost square. Let's go square to give another option on these. Since a lot of them are similar, cropping it differently can just break that up and, again, just give the client another option to use. Same with this one here. Let's see what a square looks like. Yeah, see, that's good. I like that. And we'll continue with mostly 4:5 cropping. This one here, we might want to. Yeah, so because there's, there we go. We'll crop in a little bit more just to make the overall composition a little bit better. So that's something too with, depending on how it was shot, you can see that that horizon there is pretty crooked. So as I'm straightening it, I am losing some. Actually, for this one though, I remember this one because she was moving around and kicking her heels up. I'm going to leave that one with the horizon a little bit off it because I think it plays well into the story of, you know, a lot of movement and things around that way. So go unconstrained on some of these to get the whole shots. There we go. And then for these, we'll do 2:3. And then because we're going to have more of these, I'll hold down Alt, copy that. And then when we paste, now it's going to switch to 2:3 and give us that. And then we can use our, give us that cropping ratio, which is just a quick way of getting there without having to come up here. Again, we're just saving fractions of a second, but every little bit counts. And that's where keyboard shortcuts can be great. Again, using the rule of thirds, get her here, just an empty space over here to show that, and then the smoke there. We'll straighten this. Perfect. And here. All right, let's continue on. I mean, a lot of this is pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of going in and doing it. So my thought process is to really use this rule of thirds for a lot of these, because a big part of the shoot is to include that landscape. But actually, let's do this. Let's give some square options for some of these. And we could even crop in a little bit more to give that square option. And then of course we can copy this, Alt, click that. Otherwise it'll pop up the little thing here, copy, same thing, option if you're on a Mac. And then once you paste this in, we'll get that square, which of course we'll need to reposition because those pictures are not all the same. So of course the cropping's not going to be all the same. Straighten this out a little bit. There we go. Straighten this out a little bit too. Paste. There we go. Paste it in. You know, we'll do a little more centered for some of these. Again, just giving options. This one here, let's just go ahead and paste this in. And then we're going to do portrait on this one. There we go. Again, we'll do a portrait. Straighten a little bit. And then a little bit more. See if we can, we can't quite get the boots in there. So let's do this. We'll go unconstrained on this to get the boots in there in case she wants to crop it that way. And I'm going to go back to portrait for this. Go copy that, and we're going to go portrait on this as well. Again, this one's probably going to be unconstrained just because I know I'm going to have to, yeah. So to get that foot there, we're going to want to go unconstrained on this, get as much of that as we can. It does crop off a little bit there, but that's okay. Same with this one here. This is, we want to go unconstrained. Just to give a little bit more there. Honestly, this might be something that works better in a story, so like 9x16, but we'll let her figure that out if that's something she wants. It might be something as I send them over, be like, hey, if you want any of these in story size, just let me know. I can crop that out. This one here, because it's a little bit different, I'm just going to leave it the original, actually, not touch it at all. There we go. And we're starting to run long on this video, but we are nearing the end here. So I'm just going to stick with this, not stop this one, and just continue on cropping the rest of these, because this is a pretty similar process to what we had done with the others, but just go ahead and continue on. Straighten, crop, straighten, crop. There we go. Straighten and crop. This one here, if we want to get more of the boots, we can go unconstrained. We could even, if we wanted to, we could go 16x9 or 9x16 if we go portrait. You know, that's good for story mode. In Instagram, story in Instagram or 9x16. So we could do that. Give a few of those options as well. For this, let's go ahead. I'm going to copy this, and then we can paste it in, just make it a little bit faster as we're moving along. Some of these too, what we could do is give a... actually, let's do this. So for this one here, let's come in and give a 1x1 option. Because I think this would be a good 1x1 with the sunset there on this side, balancing that out. And then this one here will be a good story. Actually, even, you know what? I like a little bit of rotation on that. Oops. Let me undo that. Rotate freehand. We'll rotate it just a little bit, just to add a little bit to that. There we go. I like that. Same with a lot of these. Where we at here? Scroll down. already done those. This is where we are. So switch back to our 4x5, see if we can get that. Not quite, so we'll want to go a little bit unconstrained on this. That's fine. So we can copy this. Some of these are probably going to be pretty similar. So for a lot of these, I mean, we're trying to, I know that the end result for a lot of these is going to be on social, but also giving them, or in this case, her, the client, whoever the client may be, giving them some freedom. Oops, I don't want rotate freehand. I want the straighten tool. Giving them a little bit of freedom on their end too, to make some edits. So they don't really need to do like the heavy editing. We've already done that, but little things like cropping and composition, as they post them, they're going to be honestly the best ones to do that, because they're not going to post all 142 shots at once. They're not going to use them all at the same time, or maybe even at all. But giving them those options, I'm going to copy and paste, giving them those options to make things look the best they can. And that's the whole point, is to create great work. All right, let's straighten this. I'm going to do this one as a 2x3 to really sell that horizon a little bit more. And then for this one, let's do a square to focus in on that. And then this one here, we could probably do square also. Yeah. There we go. Let's go 4x5. Copy this, paste it in. Again, just paste it in. We could even come in here and do a little bit unconstrained to get some of those, just the top of the boots to touch on those if you want. Same with these, very similar. Straighten just a little bit. Straighten a little bit. Oops. I just clicked, which rotated it. And then we'll crop. Same with this one here. What we'll probably do for this one here is go back to unconstrained. Just the shape of the robe there. I want to capture some of that and give that option if that's something that she wants in the shot too. Here we go. Same with this. We can go. All right, we're nearing the end here of our crop and compositions. Let's copy this. A lot of these might be similar. Similar in the way they were shot, as well as the composition there. So, but for some of these, actually, we might get away with a square. Yeah, to give some extra options on that. I like that idea. So let's copy that and see if we can do another square here, where she's more centered, but you still get the nice landscape there. And it's pretty obvious that, it's out in the desert and you get that minimal look. And then for these, again, I'm going to give some options, 4x5s, as well as 1x1, perfect squares. Just give a few different options for these. Slight straighten, because you can see the horizon there a little bit. Actually, we could do a little bit more of a horizontal one just to, no, I like portrait more. We're losing a lot of the image, so I like the portrait a little bit better. Same with this. And then we're getting into some more of the sunset shots here. Maybe this one might be a good one for 1x1 to get more of that. But see, since the focus is more here, I like the composition better as a square. So that's something to keep in mind too, is, what's the overall composition? How does that balance? If you haven't done much studying on like the rule of thirds and things like that, those are great resources to be aware of, to know, but also to know so that if you do decide to break it, like you're consciously breaking it, like, and what's the reason for breaking that? Why would you not do it? Because there certainly are times where the creative choice is to not have that. Like this here, I'll probably go square for this. Maybe this too. Let's copy this, copy the square. We might go a few square options here. For the composition with the glass there is mostly what I'm looking at. Face and glass kind of contrasting each other, right? Which was kind of the purpose of that shot. So with that, so that'll be square. This one probably would be portrait because we do have a little bit more of the robe in the shot there too. So let's copy that. And some of these last ones might be more portrait. Yeah. Here we go. Let's actually copy that. This one's probably going to be a little more accurate to what a lot of these others are, since a lot of them are similar type shot, but just slightly different posing. Okay. We go. This one, I might go back to 1-1 because I like the composition again of the sun over here, her in the center, and then the wine glass on the right side, right? So it's a nice trilogy there that I like. That composition. Oh, didn't mean to end that without doing that. This might have to be unconstrained to get some of that extra little bit there. It's fine. Go. This one here too, probably go unconstrained just to get the rest of her foot and some of those steps in there. So let's copy that and continue with some of these others in a similar manner. Once I straighten these out, then yeah, we're going to want to go unconstrained for most of these, probably. It's constrained to original. That's not what I want. Let's try 4-5 on this. Yeah, that one can do a 4-5 without losing everything. So copy, paste. Go. Copy, paste. Same with these. For this one, you know what? I'm not going to straighten that one. I'm just going to give an option where it's not straightened and it's a little more with that. Actually, let's look. Yeah, no, I'm going to straighten this one. I'm going to straighten that one. But for some of these, maybe where she's, leave this one straightened. This one here, actually, let's adjust this one. Let's go back. We'll rotate this just a little bit to counterbalance. What I'm looking at here is her leg, to get her leg straight in the shot, and that's going to have the horizon be off, but then kind of the center is focused. You know, again, we have the three things, 1, 2, 3, and then you also have the sun backgrounds there. So nice little juxtaposition. Oops. Switch back to straighten. And then last but not least, this one here. And I think we are good to go on our images. All right, so the last step of this, select all. We're going to export. And this is going to export into the output folder. So in here, in the output folder of the session. And I'm going to do 85% fixed. Yes, that's good. We can do a long edge if we want to. Again, it depends on what the options are that you need. In this case, actually, let's do, I don't want to, there's 142 images, and these are pretty large images. So let's do 66%. And then if she needs larger ones, we can always export those as larger. But at 300 DPI, 66 should give her plenty of room for some of those that we were allowing cropping on the other end. And I think that'll give some good file size there. And just get that to start exporting. So we'll start to see this coming in to the file or the folder here. And of course, you know, at this point, pretty much it's just a matter of, you know, once this starts going to the queue and then it'll start exporting and we'll start seeing these in here. And then it's just a matter of taking the JPEGs that we get that start to get generated into the output folder as these start to show up. And then we'll take those, dump them into something like Dropbox to send to our client. And of course, if she has any further edits, I'll be back with another video for that. But if there are no edits, there won't be another video. And that will be the end of our editing in this shoot. But before I let you go, in our next video, we're going to hop off the computer and wrap everything up with a quick retrospective for this overall shoot. See you there.